Welcome back to Mac Talk Sports, and in this video I'm gonna review the first set of games in the round of 16 of Euro 2024. It was Italy versus Switzerland and Germany versus Denmark, two quite big teams and then two up-and-coming teams in regards to football. But both the games were very one-sided, two teams getting dominated. And one thing is for sure, we are gonna have a new European champion this time around because the holders have been sent home packing. Speaking of the holders, we're gonna get right into it. Italy versus Switzerland. In my preview, I said that the Italian team is just gonna sit back and absorb the pressure, and Switzerland is gonna be the one that I think are gonna get out and attack, and because of the way the games have been were played in the group stages, and that's exactly what happened from the get-go. The Swiss team were on the ball, they had majority of the possession, they controlled the tempo of the games, and Italians were quite happy to let the Swiss have the ball. Their strategy was basically to sit back and absorb the pressure and then hit the Swiss on the counter, but unfortunately for them it did not really work. Spalletti, he made 6 changes to the team, which I think was a wrong move, to be very honest, because you're changing so many you're doing so many changes in such a crucial game, and the effect that he thought he would have was not there. There was really no cohesion in the Italian team, no chemistry, and as I said in my preview as well, they lack experience at this stage. Most of the players that they have are very young, and they're playing such a big tournament for the first time, and that lack of experience and in a way a lack of confidence, you can say, showed in the last night games as compared to the Switzerland team. Most of them, they have been playing together for a long time. They have a good backbone of the team, and then youngsters are coming in, gelling in very well, and that helped Switzerland, has helped Switzerland in the group stages and in yesterday as well. They were really good throughout the game. They controlled the game, but they were not able to make clear-cut chances early on. But then when the chances started coming, it was very hard for Italy to stop them. First, a big chance of the game comes from the right-hand side. Abishur plays a great weighted pass over the top to Embolo, who goes one-on-one with Donnarumma, but he makes an amazing save to keep his team in the game at 0-0. But Switzerland's domination was clearly shown in their first goal. They struck up 33 passes before Vargas crosses it into Führer, who takes a first touch, sets it up, and then smashes it into the net, and it's a 1-0. It was such a great goal, a team goal. I mean, the entire team was involved. For me, till now, it's the goal of the tournament. And Italy go 1-0 up. They almost double their lead right before halftime. Frieder gets a free kick and he takes the shot, and it almost goes in, but Donnarumma is again there. He tips it onto the post and the ball goes out, and we go into the half with Switzerland leading 1-0. A second half start, and it gets bad to worse for the Italians. They lose the ball from a kickoff, and Vargas makes a great run inside in the middle from the left hand side. Abishur plays him in, and outside he takes a shot from outside of 30 yards takriban, and straight into the right corner. Such an effortless shot, but what a goal that was. And that was basically a game done as far as the Italians were concerned, because there was nothing from, there was no hunger, there was no desire, they were just lethargic, the players walking away. And Switzerland, on the other hand, they were exceptional, and that goal basically set off like, you can say how bad the Italians were. The best chance for them came because of Switzerland. The ball comes in Switzerland defense, and Fabian Schär, he misjudged the header, and his header almost goes into the goal, but at the end hits the crossbar and goes out. That was Italy's best chance of the entire game. So you know how bad they were, and how Switzerland completely dominated them and took them out of the game. And they go home, the European champions. It was a very bad tournament for them. Most of us expected this to happen because the players that came, they were really inexperienced. There was no special spark in that team, which which was there in 2020, that the team that won the championship, majority of them were not there, so it was kind of expected, but not to this extent. They were lucky even to come out of the group, but yesterday Switzerland picked them apart. So yeah, commiserations to Italy, but I think it was well deserved. Switzerland, on the other hand, they have been really amazing. One of the best teams to watch in this tournament for sure. The way they are playing, they love always attack-minded football they are playing, and they love to score goals. They almost defeated Germany. If not for the last goal, they could have topped the group and get an easy draw, but they made this draw look even easier. They basically annihilated Italy in every way, and now they have a really good chance to make even go from. They have made the quarterfinal for the second time in a row, and they will play either England or Slovakia. And from what we have seen till now in the tournament, I don't think they would mind either of them. Even if England come into the quarterfinals, they beat Slovakia tonight, I would still say Switzerland would be the favorite in that game. And even if Slovakia create an upset tonight and they play Switzerland, then again Switzerland would be the favorite. So they are in a very good commanding position, and I think they would be very, very happy with the way that they have played last night and in the entire tournament. So congratulations to Switzerland. They can just now rest up and wait and see who their opponent will be. Moving on to the second game, it was Germany versus Denmark, the home team. And I said in my preview that this was one of the easiest games to predict in the entire round of 16. Because it was going to be one-sided, and it was one-sided. I said Switzerland annihilated Italy, but Spain against Denmark was 10 times more than that. From the literally like the moment the game started, the Spanish were onto it, and they scored a goal as well inside 4 minutes. Corner comes in, and Schlotterberg heads it in, and it's a 1-0. The crowd goes wild, but unfortunately for the fans and for Schlotterberg, Kimmich was offside and the goal gets disallowed. Kimmich himself takes a shot from a long range, about a couple of minutes after the corner, takes a shot from long range, but Kasper Schmeichel makes a full-length diving save to keep it out, and Germany get a corner. From the same corner, the ball comes in again. It's to Schlotterberg. This time he gets a looping header, and Schmeichel again had to stretch it to keep it out. But as I said, Germany were relentless, chance after chance. Rudiger plays a ball over the top, and Havertz towards Havertz. Havertz takes it on the first shot, shots it directly, and again Kasper Schmeichel was there to keep his side in the game as the score remained 0-0, and then came the thunderstorms and the delay. I never seen this in a football match, that during the game would get stopped because of weather. So it was really a new experience. The game gets delayed for about 30 minutes, and then the players come back, and Germans were start from right from where they left. The moment they come back, again they started attacking. Ruam crosses it from the left hand side. Havertz with an amazing header, but Schmeichel with an even a better save to keep the score 0-0. We go into the half at 0-0, and then we come back for the second half, and the Germans basically, and then the drama happens. Because that's the first time that Denmark really came forward. They get a corner, they take it short. Højbjerg crosses it in. Danieli outmuscles 2 defenders and somehow passes it to Anderson, and he slots it in the back of the net, and it's 1-0 to Anderson. The entire ground goes silent, apart from a small section of the Danish fans and the Danish players. They all go berserk. They have taken the lead because that was their game plan. They just sat back the entire. They took the pressure. Their keeper kept them in the game, and finally they go forward and they get the goal. But unfortunately, VAR comes in, and their celebrations were short-lived because Danieli, before giving the pass, he was offside, so it goes back to 0-0. And then the drama gets even better. From that free kick, the ball comes into the left hand side. Ram gives a cross inside the box, and it's Anderson, the unlucky guy who has an outstretched arm. The ball hits him. The referee at the time does not give any penalty or anything, but the VAR comes in back and gives the penalty to Germany, and Kai Havertz very easily, calmly slots it in. His second goal of the tournament, second penalty of the tournament, and Germany lead 1-0, and that sort of calms the Germans down, because they were getting really frustrated. They had created so many chances in the first half. They scored the goal, it was offside, and then Schmeichel had been really good. And this is the thing that I have liked about this German team and even the Spanish team. When they get the goal, they don't sit back. They basically go for the kill, something that Southgate should learn. And they continue. Sane had a chance, he misses it up. Kai Havertz again gets a one-on-one, with Schmeichel, but shoots it wide. Finally, their second goal was almost like similar to the first one. A ball comes on top over the defense, and Jamal Musiala latches onto it and calmly slots it past Schmeichel. He's finally beaten from open play in this game, and Germany doubled their lead. It's 2-0. Denmark really were not there in the game, and the Germans again, it was like attack after attack. They again had 3 or 4 chances. They scored a goal again. Rich scores the goal coming off the bench, but that is also ruled offside, and the game ends at 2-0. And it was like utter domination from the Germans. The Danes were never really in the game, and they thoroughly deserve to go into the next round. And that next round is going to be very interesting, because they are going to play either Spain or Georgia. It looks increasingly likely that we are going to have a Germany versus Spain quarterfinal, but you never know. Georgia already defeated Portugal, and they may create another upset by defeating the Spanish. So, but the Germans, they are looking very dangerous. They are the form team. They are oozing with confidence. The way their players just play, it's beautiful to watch. It's like nobody can catch them, and they have the home support as well, so that could be really advantageous for them. At the moment, they are looking like a team to beat. Denmark, on the other hand, I said in my preview as well, they were in the most boring group. They drew 3 games, and that's why they came in the round of 16. They were bad. They were really bad. They just did not even try to do something in that game, and they deserve to go out. Like, sometimes you watch a game and you sometimes feel sad for the losing team, but they did not provide anything. They were just flat, really poor from the Danes, and they are out. Germany move on to the next round, and they wait for tonight's result. So that is it, my review for the first 2 games. Please let me know what you guys think of the games, and who do you think that these 2 teams would prefer to play in the next round. Let me know everything in the comment section below. Like my video and subscribe to my channel. Until next time, bye bye.